Imagine the only sales calls you ever hopped on from this moment forward were with 100% qualified leads. No more time wasting. How many hours could that save you in a week? Well, I have created an AI automation that can achieve just that. So without further ado, let's dive in. So here we are inside Zapier and we are going to create a new automation. So if we click on create, Zaps, we're going to ignore the Copilot bit and we are going to set our trigger as a Google form. Click Google Forms. Now, the way that this automation is going to be able to qualify a lead to make sure that when we hop on the call with them, they are exactly the type of person we want to be talking to. It will require the lead to fill out a form to provide a small amount of information so that we can then use that information to qualify the lead. And of course, this will be done completely automatically. So to give you some context, this is a fake car wrapping business. And this is the form that the potential lead will see when they want to apply to work with us. They require some of our services. So it is extremely simple for the purposes of this example, but of course it could be as complex as you like. So first of all, what is your name? What is your email address? What services do you require and what is your budget? Now, our budget is going to be the main qualifying aspect of this form. We do not want to waste our time hopping on 45-minute to an hour-long sales call with potential leads that do not have the budget to work with us. So depending on what options the lead picks in this question, we'll be able to determine if we want to hop on a call with them or not. And the way they will be able to find that out is through us having their contact information, including their name and their email address. Now, I am absolutely no car wrapping expert, so if there is no such thing as a part car wrap or a car wrap repair, ignore me, just understand the concept for this example. So back in Zapier, we have selected our trigger to be a Google form, the trigger event when a new form response is submitted. Then we can click continue. The value is going to be car wrap business form. We can click continue. Now we can test the trigger and it has pulled a response. So as you can see, the response it has pulled is completely made up. So for the purpose of example and the purpose to test this automation to make sure it works how we want it to work, I'm going to fill out the form with some fake information. So back in the form, we will just click publish. Anyone with the link can respond. Hit publish. Now we can take this link, copy it, and paste it to fill out the form. So what is our name? We'll just put Jane Smith. Our email address, janesmith@fakeemail.com. We require a full car wrap and our budget is £4,000 to £5,000. Then we will click submit. So now when we go back into Zapier automation, we can hit find new records. As you can see, it has found a new record and it includes all the information that we need. So what is your name? What is your budget? What services do you require? And what is your email address? Then we can continue with the selected record. And now we move on to the second step in our automation. So on top of being able to qualify leads through the responses that they give in the form, we want all our responses in one succinct place. So we are going to add them to a Google Sheet. So our next step is going to be Google Sheets. The action event will be create a new spreadsheet row. Click continue. Drive will be my Google Drive. The spreadsheet will be a fake sheet I created prior called car wrap responses, and the specific sheet will just be sheet 1. Now in this part we can dictate what information we want in the form in what part of the Google Sheet. So if I show you the Google Sheet, you will see it simply says name, email address, service required and budget. And if we head back to Zapier, you can see name, email address, service requires, budget. So in this section, we are going to line up the response sections in the form and the columns in our Google Sheet. So name, we click the plus. Based on the form will be what is your name, email address, will be what is your email address, services required will be what services do you require, and budget will be what is your budget. Then we can simply click continue. Now we can test this step, and this should populate our Google Sheet with the response in the Google form. So it says a row was sent to Google Sheets about 0 seconds ago. So we can head back to the Google Sheet. And as you can see, the information that we put in the Google form has been automatically populated into the Google Sheet. Perfect. So that's great that we'll have all our responses information in the same place. Great for data analysis purposes. However, we want to qualify this lead. So we head back to Zapier. So for our next step, we want to set up something called paths within Zapier. So as I said previously, the main thing that is going to dictate whether or not we want to hop on a call with this individual or not is their budget. In this example, if their budget is not between £4,000 and £5,000, we don't want to work with them and we can send them in the other direction. If it is, we want them to send them in the direction of booking a call with us. In the scenario, if it's not a budget that we want to work with, we could send them some sort of free value, maybe a lower ticket service or a partner company that we know will deal with jobs that we don't want to deal with. So if we click the plus button, hit paths, here are both our paths, path A and path B. Path A is going to be the path if we want to continue with them and send them to book a call with us so we can hop on that sales call. Path B is if we don't want to work with them and we can send them some sort of free value or in another helpful direction. So if we click on path A, setting custom rules up here, so we'll leave this as it is, only continue if, and we can head to the response formatted in the Google Sheet. If the budget column, then we choose a condition, exactly matches, and then we can set this as the £4,000 to £5,000. So we know that based on the Jane in this example of when I filled out the form, she did click the £4,000 to £5,000 option. So if we put that here, we know that our response will exactly match that, and therefore the path should continue in the direction of booking a call. So just to make sure this exactly matches, I'm going to copy and paste from the form that I originally set up. So if we head down here, Command C, head back to Zapier, paste it in there, click continue. It has tested it. It says your path would have continued for this test data because the record that it pulled at the beginning was a response that clicked the £4,000 to £5,000 option. So we can click continue. Then it's going to ask us to put our next step in for path A, but we are first going to set up path B. So if we click path conditions on path B, leave it as custom rules, only continue if the budget column, choose a condition, does not contain, and then we will put the £4,000 to £5,000 and paste that in the same way we did with the other path. So if the answer does not contain this answer, then this path will continue, but like I said, in a different direction. So if we hit continue, and it says your path would have not continued for this test data because when we filled out the form with Jane Smith's response, we hit the £4,000 to £5,000 option. So because that does contain the thing that we don't want the path to continue if provided, then the path will not go any further. Therefore, in theory, everyone who puts a different answer to £4,000 to £5,000 should continue down this path, but not be allowed down path A. So we can click continue and it will want us to continue the path. Now, going down either path, we want it to send an email. We either want it to send an email to book a call with us because their budget is something that suits the type of clients we want to work with, or we want to send the person an email directing it in a different direction but still being helpful and still being of value. So starting with path A, the path that we do want clients to book a call with, we can click on the next step and we want to send an email. So we'll use Zapier's email function, click email. The action event will be send outbound email. We can click continue. Now in the to box here, I'm going to write my email address for the purpose of testing this automation. But if you were to set up this automation for yourself, you would enter the email provided in the form response. So you click the plus, click on the Google Forms from step 1. Then you could scroll down and you would click on the what is your email address question, where they would have provided their email and should be able to receive contact from you. So that's what you would do. But as I said, in this example, I'll just put my email address. Perfect. Subject will be book your car wrap call. And we can just write something like, hey, and then we can include the name that they gave us on the form. Hey, we can click on the what is your name. Hey, then a comma, based on your response to inquiry form, here is the link to book a call with to finalize your order, or something along those lines. Then we could just put a semicolon and then we would insert link. So this would be wherever the link that we want them to book a call with us. This could be your Calendly link or something like that. Then we'll put all the best. We'll just sign it off. Car business. So we don't want any attachments. From, we can leave blank. Reply to, we can leave blank. We can leave everything else as it is. And now if we look down here, we can test this step. So I should, through clicking test step, receive an email because I have qualified to book a call with this car wrap business. So I click test step. And just like that, I have received the email that I asked it to send the people who qualify based on the budget answer they gave in the form. So it says, hey, Jane Smith, based on your response to our inquiry form, here is a link to book a call with us to finalise your order. Then insert link. So of course that would have our Calendly link, for example. All the best, car wrap business. Perfect. So now we can finish setting up our path B. So if we X off here, now in our path B, we also want an email sent, but this time the email will be to let the potential client know that unfortunately they haven't qualified to book a call with us. However, we can still try and be of service to them in some helpful way. So if we click here, once again using Zapier's email function, click email, the action event will be to send an outbound email, click continue. The to email, once again, is going to be me for the purpose of this test, but like I said, you would just input the email provided from the form. So I've given it my email. The subject will, of course, now be different. Just for the purpose of example, we'll put form response outcome. We'll put your form response outcome. We can put hey. Then we can add in their name based on what they provided in the form. So, of course, for this example, it's still going to be Jane Smith. Thank you for taking the time to fill out form. Due to our high demand, will not be able to book a call with you. However, if you still interested in car wrapping services, we highly recommend insert other business as a token of our for your interest. Please use code CARWRAP10 to get 10% off your order with them. All the best, car wrap business. So as you can see in our email, despite us not wanting to work with them because they are not what we consider as a qualified lead to spend the time hopping on their sales call with, we can send them somewhere else that we also recommend because they have taken time to reach out of us, shown interest in our services. Maybe we have a great relationship with the person we refer them to, and that gets them 10% off their entire order with them. So if we scroll down, we can leave everything else as it is, click continue, and now we can test this step. So it says an outbound email was sent about 0 seconds ago. So if I refresh my emails, there we have it. Other alternative email that will go to the leads that aren't qualified for us to work with. Now, if I was to hit publish on this Zapier automation, every time a new form response would be submitted, this automation would qualify the lead and either send it a Calendly link, for example, to book a sales call with us because their budget is something that we would like to work with, or send them to another business that they can also get a discount with because they've been interested in our services. So all in all, we are getting back to all our lead inquiries. We are making sure that we only hop on sales calls with qualified leads based on their budget, but that we are also being helpful to those that have shown interest in our services and gave other businesses clients based on our referral. This automation ticks a lot of boxes, but the biggest one has to be you never sitting down on an unqualified sales call ever again. And as always, if you have found this video insightful, feel free to hit subscribe as I continue to explore the case